Unfortunately, when this referendum happened, the Indonesians, and this is the key thing that West Papuans have got a problem with now and are asking to go back to, is that the referendum was basically engineered by the Indonesians, who selected about 1,000 families from Indonesia and basically told them that if they didn't vote to be part of Indonesia, they would be killed.
So it's a really crucial time at the moment. In the summer there were the biggest demonstrations that have been seen in a while. This is in July in Jayapura, which is the capital, and this is really dangerous to do, flying flags, campaigning, but loads and loads of people are out. Look, a whole series of photographs. But this has been met with even harsher crackdown from the Indonesian military, and even in the past, I'm not sure, this is since the demonstrations, loads more villages have been burnt out, crops have been burned, livestock have been killed, loads of people are hiding in the rainforest for their lives. There's now estimated 6,000 people just hiding in the rainforest because their villages have been burned. No foreign journalists are allowed in, most NGOs are banned, the story just hasn't got out. Until really recently, people like Benny has been exiled.
It is very significant and historical day today. Behalf of my people of West Papua, I would like to thank you very much for having me here, bring the voice of West Papua, because their voice, 47 years, they never hear by the world. So this is very historical day. So that's why I would like to thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
And also I welcoming you, ladies and gentlemen, today. Thank you very much for your time, and thank you. What they want is just how they want to free from Indonesia, that they message. They want to real self-determination, because 1961 the people are vote for that people call a referendum, but it's not referendum. That's just gunpoint. Indonesia gunpoint force including my father. They're forced to join Indonesia. If you not vote for Indonesia, we will kill you. So that's why our voice never coming out. But today, very significant and for West Papua voice in this parliament. So that's why, behalf of the West Papuan people, I would like to thank you very much for your time. And I want to give something before ending my my story, and I want to give this something symbol to Alien Campbell for you to symbolic, but I will give some of the information with some of your colleagues. Kind of the voice of West Papua, because we born and then our mother put here, but then they grow up, then Indonesia killed. So that's why this is symbolic. I want to hand it over this to you, and this is their voice of West Papua, voice 200 people, 250 tribes, their voice, and they cry for freedom. I want to give this to you, and please, this is their voice, so I want to give you this.
The things that you've gone, I think there's a deep level of empathy there and understanding about what you've tried to do to make sure that your country and your people are recognised, and we'll take these voices and make sure that more people understand about what folk in West Papua are doing. I think that what struck me when I first met you when you came to Parliament was how gentle and how kind and how understanding you were, and putting across your points with such dignity was incredible, and I'm sure that's what my colleagues all feel today as well. So thank you so much for coming. I didn't really expect this at all, but we'll make sure that the folk in West Papua aren't forgotten about, and that we can try and do what we can to raise awareness of that in any way that we can. So thank you very much for coming again. Thank you.
So I wanted to ask about that, but also I wanted to ask about the level of transmigration from Java, I suppose it would be, into West Papua, and whether the TNI are actively doing that programme of adopting of West Papuan children. and bringing them up as their own in an effort to dilute the culture.
As soon as Indonesia invaded 1963 and then sent military, same time with the migrant, they tried to West Papua Indonesianize. That's the idea. And because West Papua is colony, so that's why they try to oppress the people with the gun. Every street, you can't, even terminal, there's a gun always with them. Today we just free to come in here. In West Papua, everywhere, intelligence is double. So that's why Indonesia kept quiet, kept keeping this like under the carpet. It's very...
Papuan women to dilute the strain. Are they going about eradicating the culture? Has Pankasila been forced on your children in schools? And is there a defined process of adoption of children by TNI officers?
Well, it doesn't matter. Because the parent try to, protect, you can, there is no way to report to who, like police, and they're working together. Military, whether they're like killing or rapes, for them it's normal. And in the highlands, there is 1,000 of military already in there. So it's very difficult to send out all the information because no journalist.
Your trauma you've had to go through, I can only imagine how you've gone through it. As Ian says, we operate in a much easier political environment, thankfully, and thank you for coming to tell us about your experience today. I've actually got a question about the Freeport Gold Mine and the other big mining companies that you referred to in your presentation. Who are they?
What happened 1967, before we had a referendum 1969, they have agreement, this company, agreement between Jakarta, Indonesia, and this company, Freeport Rio Tinto. They have an agreement and they decide. The business interest already put in first place, and then a referendum, so that's why this is, you can see this now biggest gold mine in operating in West Papua. What happening now, that area, military is double, they defending the mine. But then, the other hand, Indonesian military, they create the violence, the area, and then look, the company, you need the protection, don't you? You need, this is like the Indonesian business.
Thank you very much for coming along and obviously giving an account of the harrowing conditions. It reminded me of, you watched the film Braveheart, exactly what was happening in Scotland at the time as well, where women were raped to dilute, to Linda has already said, but fortunately we don't have to go through that type of thing. You mentioned a way back at the beginning of 1949 and the split up of New Guinea, West Papua and others. Does the other part of New Guinea, are they aware at all of what's going on? Mm-hmm. Do you have any support there at all? That's one question. And the second question, sort of moving on, is obviously Indonesia is obviously trading with Australia and bigger countries, New Zealand. And I think one way that I would like to see going ahead, I'm sure that Ian will be picking up on this with emotion or whatever for the Parliament, is that we should be looking at sanctions on Indonesia.
It's like Papua New Guinea, Solomon Island, Vanuatu, Fiji. Mm-hmm. Politically, they are really supporting. But main problem in West, they are not supporting because Australia is put pressure onto them. That is one. Second, Indonesia also try to threatening. Look, we are big power in Asia. So what you are minority. So that's why it's very difficult.
If there are other questions that people want to ask afterwards, we can do that. But I think some folk have to get away if that's okay.
You might get a group photo.
A group photo before.
Can you see that? If that's what the ground is?
You get up to the table.